Let me take a sip.
If I gotta put 4 Negroes on a Mount Rushmore, Mount Rushmore is 4 or 5.
4.
But it's going to be Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas.
Okay.
Facts.
He's the worst house.
Clarence?
Bro, who worse than Clarence?
Who's worse? No, I know he's worse, but you put him on the Rushmore?
Who worse
Yes.
than him? He's number 1.
Yes.
Right next to Charles
I agree with Dr. Umar on this one.
Hold on,
Yes.
Candace
Facts.
Owens
3.
and Jesse Lee Peterson.
Facts.
4.
You familiar with Jesse Lee Peterson? The YouTubian and Coon?
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Those
about.
the 4.
Those the 4?
Now I'm gonna tell you who's trying to get on there.
I know who you about to say.
RG3.
Oh yeah.
Because I had a big problem with him attacking.
Guys, now he wants to put RG3 on the coon list. And I'm pretty sure it's because he's married to a white woman. You know, Dr. Umar, he feels like if you're with a white woman, your black card should be revoked. You ain't black no more if you with a white woman, according to him. But you know what, guys? Everybody ain't trying to fight the power with you. Everybody ain't trying to be blackety black with you like that, though. You know what I'm saying? People got their preference. And if the man want to be with a white woman, let him rock out like that. Shit, I ain't got no problem with it. That's his preference. But you see, black men are not allowed to have a preference. Black women can, but we're not. Black men, we're not supposed to have anything. We just put to shut up and get what we get, which is nothing.
Ryan.
My sister Angel Reese the other day on his live stream with his snow bunny ass wife sitting right behind him.
Told you
tearing
guys.
this black girl down, talking about how she hates Caitlin Clark.
He wasn't tearing her down. He just gave his sports tape. And if you don't agree with it, fine, that's cool. It was just a sports tape. He didn't say anything malicious about what her name is, Angel Reese. He didn't say anything malicious about it. He just gave his opinion. And if you don't like it, cool.
After Caitlin Clark rough fouled her and she got up and had something to say to her, like athletes do. Oh, I know she hates Caitlin Clark. And then he start mocking her and doing stereotypical black girl movements and everything. With his white wife, it looked like he was on a plantation picking cotton. And the slave master in the back, whipping him in the back.
Yeah, that's nasty word.
And then Ryan Clark checked him, right? Ryan Clark checked him.
Yeah, he did.
And then now he's trying to get Ryan Clark fired, talking about, you had no business bringing up my wife. My wife and kids don't have.
All right, now Dr. Umar being disingenuous. He ain't, RG3 is not trying to get Ryan Clark fired. What are you talking about?
Nothing to do with this. He didn't bring up your wife. He said you married 2 snow bunnies. He didn't say nothing about your wife. He talking about you. He didn't say your wife was a bad person.
Exactly.
He did bring up his wife. In fact, he actually went into detail about his wife. So what are you talking? Once again, guys, Dr. Umar is being very disingenuous.
He said you married 2 white girls. So you can't talk about what black women go through. So then they
Neither should Ryan Clark. His first child is from a white woman. If by your definition, Umar,
clapped back at Ryan Clark and said, well, you got a baby by a white girl. And so then I clapped back and said, Ryan Clark does have a baby by a white girl. He should have never done that. But from what I can see from Ryan Clark, he's moved on from that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah. He's grown. And if you tell me, Doc, I had a baby by a white woman 10 years ago, but that ain't me no more. I only date sisters. I can accept you back. You feel me? And from what I can see, I don't know Ryan Clark personally, but from what I can see, to me, he's one of the more racially.
but you see, here's like, who made you a motherfucking authority figure, though, Dr. Umar? Don't nobody got to answer to you. You ain't the motherfucking guardian of blackness. I mean, seriously, guys, he's talking like he's the authority figure or something. Like, dude, don't nobody got to answer to you or impress you. Who made you an authority figure? Wow. The nerve of this dude.
Conscious sports commentators out there.
That's a fact.
So I believe he's grown from his snow bunny days, right? His wife is black. RG3 wife is white.
Well, let me tell you the truth.
He went from a bunny to another bunny. A black man with a white woman ain't got no business talking about no black woman at all. Just
Okay, really? So why black women are not held to the same standards then, Umar? You have nothing to say about them. People like Lonnie Love, people like Ebony K. Williams. Ebony K. Williams, she always got shit to say about black men. She's even went to the extent of pushing false statistics on black men. You have nothing to say about her. Lonnie Love too. Lonnie Love always talking about black men, and she with a broke white man. Ebony K. Williams, she was engaged to a white Jewish man, but for some odd reason, she always got something to say about black men. So until you start holding women like that accountable, Dr. Umar, we ain't trying to hear shit you got to say.
Just keep their name out your mouth.
I got a question for you.
Oh,
So
okay, go ahead,
where would you put Al Sharpton? Because he wore a wire on Martin.
No. He wore a wire for the mob.
Oh, so it
Y'all
wasn't
didn't
for
know
Martin.
that?
It was for the mob.
No, Al Sharpton wore a wire for the mafia.
Right. But to set up who?
The mafia. He was an informant for the mafia, against the mafia, allegedly.
Yeah. So why I kept hearing all these years that he wore a wire against Martin?
But he never went with Martin. No. He didn't walk with Martin. Sharpton walked with James Brown. And then later on, Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
And I don't think he needed to wear a wire for Jesse because Jesse
Yeah.
was already, cooperating.
But listen, man. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. My kid's mother is black, right? I'm pro-black. Like I got Harriet Tubman, I got David Ruffin, I got all type of African tattoos on me. But the first woman I had sex with was actually.
Okay, you pro-black. What that's supposed to mean? So what, guys? These cool. If you want to be proud of being black, cool. But you see, me, I'm not with this old blackity black fight the power bullshit all the time. I ain't with all that all the time. Now, trust me, I'm a foundation of Black American, and I rock with my people now. But however, I'm not trying to fight the power all the goddamn time. I ain't getting no tattoos of Africa on me and all that bullshit. I ain't doing all that. See, a lot of these old Pan-African people, these old Pan-African niggas, they don't get nothing done. They don't accomplish anything. Dr. Umar, he don't accomplish nothing. Only thing he's ever done is went to college. He's never really accomplished anything. And he around here criticizing people, criticizing RG3. Dude, RG3 ain't nothing in what you need to be worried about. You need to be worrying about that damn school that you've been talking about opening up for the past decade and a half.
White. But let me tell you why, brother.
Oh man.
No, I'm being honest with you.
Dr. Umar.
Hey, I can't help
How
it.
much lashes is getting?
That's about 500 lashes. He gave his virginity to the snow bunny.
Look at how these dudes groveling over him. And you see, he's on that show because he knows he can easily talk circles around them. And guys, what I've noticed about Dr. Umar over the years, he will never go on a podcast with somebody that he knows that can challenge him. He ducked Anton Daniels. He ducked Candace Owens, even though he always calling her a coon. He damn sure ducked Kevin Samuels, and he ducked Tariq Nasheed. So anybody that can give him a challenge, he would not go on that podcast, and which he's always talking about. He's the greatest. He's the greatest debater, and he's the king of pan-africanism, and nobody can beat him as far as consciousness and all this shit. But whenever somebody wants to smoke with him, he never shows up. He always denies going.
I know that's crazy, right? No, yeah, but let me tell you why.
You,
it's 8th grade summertime. None of the sisters wanted to give me none. And I remember going to my dad.
With Shannon Sharp, Terrell Owens.
Hey, nah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I went to my dad. I told my dad, I said, man, like, I can't have sex. I don't know what's going on. He said, son, man. He said, don't worry. He said, one day you're going to have so many women, you're going to be turning them down. I said, that need to happen today. I can't wait. But anyways, I met this white girl at the skating rink. We was boyfriend and girlfriend for a week.
Oh, and you dated him?
And she gave me something. I'm gonna be just keeping it real.
I feel you.
So if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have gotten none until probably the 10th grade.
Well, then maybe you should have waited to the 10th grade. You were snow bunny, my brother.
Yeah.
You were snow bunny.
How much lashes we giving him?
About 500.
I'm gonna let him pass
Because he was young.
Right.
He was young. He
So
didn't
give him
have-
100.
I was young, man. I was
Give him about
young,
5 lashes.
5 lashes.
But see, here's the thing. I don't hate the white woman.
Right.
It's just that we got to rebuild our community. It's about self-love. is love. It ain't about external rejection. You know what I mean? It's not a hate thing.
Nah, I reproduce with black, bro.
black women need black men.
That's a fact.
Then why you didn't marry your children's mothers then, Umar? You have 2 children by 2 different women that you refuse to marry by your own admission. So if you truly believe what you just said, why you didn't marry those women then? If you really believe that, then that's something that you need to answer.
I was a professional athlete. A lot of my friends, they always say, I don't discriminate.
That's an excuse.
What would you
do
tell them?
discriminate against black women.
Yeah,
They do discriminate against their own kind.
that's crazy.
Black people are the only colorblind people in America. Nobody practices colorblindism but us, you know?
Wow.
Everybody is loyal to the in group except us.
Yep.
Slavery snatched not only our knowledge of self, but it snatched our loyalty to the culture. And after slavery, we never got the loyalty to the culture back. They just replaced it with religion. And so now black people are strung out on religion, not African spirituality, religion, right?
Yeah.
And so now we strung out on religion. So people will die for Jesus and they'll die for Muhammad, they'll die for Moses, right? But they won't die for their community.
Is that something to do with the household, like how our upbringing?
That's
It's true, but I'm
brainwashed.
going to say it has more to do with the community, right? Because the household is nothing but a reflection of the community. And because the community is disorganized and chaotic, the homes are disorganized and chaotic. So people say, well, you know, it all starts in the home. The parents need to do a better job raising their kids. I say, no, the community needs to come together and come up with a consistent blueprint as to how we're going to raise the kids. 70% of our babies are raised by who? Single black moms. You can't keep pushing this shit back on a home. Those women are already taxed to the max.
Well, shit, who fault that is? They chose that, Dr. Umar. They chose that. Being a single mother is a choice. That's a choice. A child doesn't get born if a woman doesn't want it to be here. Umar, let's knock off the bullshit.
They got 3 kids, 3 jobs, 3 medical problems, right? They 2 stresses away from suicide, and here you want to give them another responsibility? Why we don't give some of that responsibility to the church? Why we give them that responsibility to the fraternities, sororities? Why we don't give them that responsibility to the black businesses?
That's a fact.
The community organization. Why is the black mother the scapegoat for everything going wrong in the black community? You see,
You just
I got a
described
problem
my
with that. That's
mom.
why I take up for the sisters, man.
Yeah.
They
Nah, you mean that? You mean that's why you pander to the sisters? You pander to black women because that's your bread and butter audience?
been raising our children for us damn near alone for 50 years.
Once again, whose fault is that? That was a choice. 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson, The Great Society, government assistance, third wave feminism. They chose that because they didn't want to be no slave to no man. So they chose the government. The government was their man. Now you don't have men in the house as a substitute for the government because these women wanted to be free. So that's why our community is in disrepair today, because what these women chose. Fast forward to the 90s when women, fast forward to the 80s and 90s when women will start getting all these corporate jobs. That's when you hear all this talk about, I need a man that's on my level. Because what happened was a lot of these corporate jobs, a lot of these corporate businesses that was funded by the Democrats was giving black women all these jobs instead of black men. That's what happened, Dr. Umar.
It's time for black men to step
And you know,
up.
in Miami,
Nothing bothers me more than to go to a little league football game
Oh,
and every black father there.
yep.
Back to school night, you might see one. So you mean to tell me you ain't missed one of your son's games all season? And you ain't show up to a report card?
PTA.
You ain't show up to an IEP? You ain't show up to a suspension reinstatement? You feel me? How is it all the
Neither have you. How the fuck can you even talk, bro? Bro, you got a whole daughter out here on social media talking about you a deadbeat dad, bro. What are you talking about? So neither have you. The nerve of this dude, y'all. And guys, like I said, these dudes sitting up here groveling over him and looking up to him, dude. He can talk circles around them. That's why he's even on there. Dr. Umar, he only goes on podcasts with people that he know he can beat in talking. He can easily talk circles around them, then yeah, he'll go. But if he knows that you're a challenge, he would not come to that podcast. I promise you he won't. Anyway, y'all, I had enough of hearing this. This your boy Master Capone, man. This is Do Better You channel. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. I love you. Appreciate you. I'm out.